Hello and welcome to the She Reads Romance Books podcast, the ultimate show for romance book lovers looking for the best books worth reading. I'm your host, Leslie Murphy, and in each short episode, I share my favorite book list of recommendations so you know exactly what to add to your must-read list. Join me as I explore the romance genre and have fun collecting book boyfriends along the way, because life is better with a love story. Okay, readers, brace yourselves because you are going to love my very special guest today, because I know that she is already one of your favorite authors if you love reading romance, and she definitely is one of mine. She has a new forbidden hockey romance that already made my list of most anticipated new romance books of 2025 list, and which releases this week that we are going to talk about. Plus, we have a very special announcement to share with you. I'm beyond excited to say what that is. But without further ado, I would love to welcome to the show Tessa Bailey.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to go ahead and say thank you on behalf of all romance readers for giving us the perfect new romance to read this Valentine's Day. But I mean, I guess we should just be real and say us romance lovers are going to read whatever you write, whatever time of year you're going to release it. But I think that there's something really special about the perfect rom-com for Valentine's Day. And this year, that is definitely Dream Girl Drama, which releases February 4th. So to kind of dive right into it, can you just tell listeners a little bit about what Dream Girl Drama is about?
I would love to. Dream Girl Drama is sort of the book that I didn't see coming. There was these two characters that sort of popped up in the previous book, Chloe and Sig. They are future step siblings, and yet he is kind of like her protector. You know, he is her best friend. They like come as a package deal everywhere they go. And there was just this chemistry between them that I immediately was like, I think this is something, I think this is something really good. And so Dream Girl Drama, basically, we go back a little bit to the beginning of their, how they met and what happened. And basically his car breaks down on the side of the road. He walks into this country club to get a cell phone charger to find some way to get help for his broken down truck. And he meets Chloe, and they just have this undeniable connection. They share this like moonlight kiss, and they make plans to see each other like later that night, only to show up to the same dinner and find out that their parents are engaged. So like they've already gotten in super deep by that point. And she's like a pampered society girl in Connecticut, and she wants so badly to like explore the world and go live in Boston. And he's like, let's go. Like, I'm here now, like, let's go tonight. We can't obviously be together, but I'll be your protector. I'll show you the ropes. And obviously we know how that's gonna work out.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So I had the awesome opportunity to read an advanced copy. And honestly, I've already read it twice, and I didn't think I could love it any more than I did the second time, but I did. Because it totally met all of my expectations. But I put it on my most anticipated list because it had me at forbidden and hockey romance. Let's just be real. Which are two of my favorite romance tropes. Are they some of your favorites too, to either read or write as well? I'm just curious.
I do love like in forbidden or anything forbidden, like I was like, we're not supposed to be together, or my dad's the coach, or you're my big brother's best friend, or like whatever it might be. Like it's definitely my catnip since the beginning. I love forbidden romance. Yeah, and then you throw in like this sort of like big, just like raw slang guy like, just gets black eyes for a living, and it's just something like a little extra exciting about that he's just this big protector kind of by nature. And yeah, I mean the forced proximity as well. Like he basically is at her apartment every night to make sure she's doing okay and like fixing things around the place for her, because she's actually never lived on her own. She's always had someone to take care of everything for her. So he has to like teach her how to do laundry and teach her how to cook and So there's this forced proximity aspect that adds a lot to it as well.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you in the book summary sort of says how they meet, and I think you give them the best meet cute, right, with their attraction and their chemistry just sort of jumping off the page. But I had this like internal dialogue in my head reading it. I'm like, Sig, just go and take her. Like, why are you walking away, man? Like, you had this opportunity, and then they meet, and it's not giving away any spoilers, like you said, that's that big reveal, and as soon as, the word, "Oh, we're getting married," and then the step-sibling word comes out, I'm like, Tessa must have been, like, laughing maniacally, like, writing this scene, because now I'm just tortured. Was that really fun to write or just think about? Or
Yeah, it was really fun to write. I mean, the amount of just pure like yearning and like pining in this book is so it's every page.
Mhm.
It's just constant every page until like the last chapter when we solve the issue.
Yeah.
And I actually had 2 or 3 different ways that I thought I could, because like there has to be, I think when you read a successful romance novel,
Mhm.
there has to be an actual, like, really concrete reason that these 2 characters can't be together, and that's what makes it exciting, right? It can't like, not a miscommunication, not like, it's just something that's really preventing them from actually being together, otherwise, it'd be over in chapter 1, so, yeah, like, I had sort of these ideas of how I was going to untangle it throughout the book, but I was surprised where it ended. Even I was surprised that by what actually happened. And, it was satisfying because I felt like I was along for the ride as well, learn with everybody else.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because I think it's so easy as a reader to just say, "Who cares? Just bang her already." Like, I don't care if you're soon gonna be like step siblings, like just go on. But I think you did such a great job of sort of weaving their thoughts on how it could impact their life, his career, her career, to that couldn't be possible. And so I did spend the rest of the book being like, well, what if they did this? And what if they did that?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure. I'm like, how is she going to solve this? Like, come on.
Yeah, and I totally have a hard time, like, as a romance author to, like, because I want the physical attraction between the characters to be, like, something they can't control so much of the
Mhm.
time. So, you that's yet again, that's where, like, a strong-willed character like Sig, who is, like, he's so noble, almost to a fault, that it makes sense. Like, that's why these characters are so intriguing because 'cause they're just, like they have a profound, like, rule book and they stick to it, and that's why we root for them, I think. So, like, they're not weak like we are.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Well, let's dive into those characters because I just love them. So Sig, right? He's our hunky hero. What is it about this man that you think readers are just gonna love and why he will become their next favorite book boyfriend?
I think when it comes to Sig, I mean, he is, like, capability born, I always say, like, that to me is my favorite quality in a romance hero is, like, he can do everything and fix everything, and not that she's constantly calling him and needing him to fix everything, but he just does it, and when something needs to be done, he doesn't need to be asked, he just steps up and does it, and that's something is, like, a quality that I think we all want in, like, real life,
Yes,
but
yes.
we only get it in the romance hero. It's like Sig, he's listening to her, he's, like, dying to know the thoughts in her head, he wants to, like, know what she's thinking and doing and saying so he can adjust his behavior to make her happy. I mean, that is so sexy in itself. But I think, yeah, it's a matter of showing up. He's a hero that shows up every single time, he never lets her down. That's why we read romance. I mean, these heroes never let their heroine down, ever.
Yes, absolutely. And I think one of your author superpowers is your amazing character development because, I mean, you write some of the most amazing alpha males. Thank you. And
The
Sig definitely has that side to him, but he also is this incredible caretaker side to him, but which makes him super sweet, but he's not like super sappy or like a pushover. So it was this really great mix that I sort of really appreciated how, like you said, he would just do anything for her and wanted to do even more, and yet totally fostered her independence as well.
Yeah, I really feel like as long as I can see the hero struggling to keep that balance, I think, like, he knows what he wants to do is take over and just care for her, but he also knows that's not what she's going to, like, love and appreciate and need.
Mhm.
So he has to struggle against that impulse to just take over and be everything to her, which is like I feel like that's so sexy to watch a man wrestle with that,
Yes.
and ultimately make the decision that this isn't gonna satisfy her, it's only gonna satisfy me, and therefore, it's not like, it's not what has to happen. Uh,
Yes.
and so I think that's where that balance comes in is like, as long as it's great if they have that nature and their impulse is to provide, 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 but knowing that she needs her own independence, like you said, is also just him knowing that, recognizing it in itself is so sexy.
Yeah. And seeing that he gets so much out of building up her independence, not only getting so much out of helping her and being there, but getting so much out of also like, because it's all about her, right?
Yeah,
Which I
he's
love.
proud of her. He's like,
Yeah.
he has pride in her, and he, like, lets her know that too, which is, like, the fact that he's vocalizing that and communicating it to her is another, like, I feel like tenet of a romance hero that it's like, I need it to feel fulfilled when I'm writing of
Yeah.
these guys, I like they have to say it out loud. Say it
Yeah.
to her, like, let her hear it. Yeah.
So, okay, now Chloe, our sweet, sweet heroine, what do you think readers are going to love about this harpist and musical prodigy?
So Chloe kind of reminds so I feel like every, like, so often, one of these heroines lands in my lap, and I feel like the last one was Piper Bellinger from, It Happened One Summer, where, like, we know that she's capable of so much more. She just doesn't know it yet, and, like, we have to kinda go along with her on this journey to, like, self-realization that she's smart and capable and brave, and, when in Chloe's case, like, I think everybody in the beginning is gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, like, this girl, like, she's so clueless. She doesn't know how to laundry. She doesn't know how to do laundry. Like, she cries over, like, a bird running into her window, and she's just, like, such a, like, she's almost a little bit childlike because she has been so sheltered for so long. But throughout the book, she changes, and she looks and she starts to realize, like, Sig is working overtime to make her happy, and she's like, "That it can't be like this. Like, I need to take over." And she does. She claims, like, this capability that she's had all along. She finally realized she has it inside of her. And it's like, I think it's so satisfying to go from one end of the spectrum to the other with these heroines and, like, really watch them just, like, thrive. I think it's like this obsession I've always had with, oh my gosh, Alexis from Schitt's Creek. You
Yeah.
It's just like I'm never gonna get away from that obsession. And I'm gonna wanna write this character type, every so often. It just satisfies something inside of me. I don't know.
That's awesome. Yeah. And you can't really hold her naivete like against her because it's not like she's out to like take advantage of
No, and
Sid,
she's so
right?
sweet. So, like,
So
she's
sweet.
genuinely earnest in her sort of helplessness. Like, it's
Yes.
not an act, it's not a head game. Like, she's but, like, where does the laundry chute go? And, like, who does the laundry once it's down there? You do it. You do the laundry, Chloe. But, like, she yeah, she is honest, and I think she's vulnerable, and I think those are the qualities that make us wanna root for a heroine, or at least me.
And even if she can't cook, she's gonna make a birthday cake,
She's gonna make
like
a birthday cake.
eggshells and all, you know? But I have to say, I think she's probably the first harpist that I've ever like, character I've ever read. So what made you create that whole part of her identity and story?
It's like, I don't know where these things come from. Sometimes I'm like, I just pictured this, I think when I think of a harpist, I think of something that's, like, angelic and really, like, pure, and that's kind of those were the qualities that came to mind with Chloe. Like, unlike Piper, who is kind of, like, edgy and, like, party girl,
Yeah.
Chloe was just, like, I just do what my mom tells me to do because I don't know any other way. And like, I go from the club to tennis practice to here. And so she just like, she hasn't sort of gone out and had anything hard or abrasive happen to her. She's
Mhm.
pure. She's like, she's a harpist. She's like,
Yeah.
it's sort of like ethereal creature. And I think she's described on the back of the book as having like manic pixie dream girl energy. And that's,
Yeah,
I don't know, the harpist, it just came into my head and then it made sense to me. So,
yeah,
and so
and
I love the antithesis of a hockey player and like a
for
harpist.
sure. Yes, absolutely. Was there, like, a favorite scene from the book that was either just a blast to write or that looking back on it now, you're like, "Oh, yeah, that one was just perfect for the 2 of them?"
I mean, I just feel like I might give so much away if I say what my favorite scene is,
That's true.
but it has to do with like, I don't know, maybe I can just say it. I don't know if it's not like ruining anything, but Stig, like he didn't get this gigantic, like lucrative contract his first year in the league. He he had been injured his final year of the lower division, and so he like kind of was like brought in as an afterthought, and then ended up being like one of the greater better players. But his contract reflects the fact that he was sort of injured at that time. So he doesn't make a lot of money, but he wants to support Chloe. He wants to like give her the luxury she's like kind of accustomed to, and so he like starts selling, sports memorabilia like on the side, having his teammates sign things and then selling them out of his apartment. And when she realizes what's going on, that moment of just like shock, and like sort of this you come to Jesus moment for
Yes.
Chloe of like, oh my God, like A, this person is so much better, even better than I've been giving him credit for. And then B, like I need to get my shit together.
Yes.
That was my favorite scene, especially because he's like, "Please don't take this." He says something to her like, "Please don't take this privilege away from me of taking
Mhm.
care of you. Please don't do that to me." And I was like, I think that that line came to me like one of the first early stages of writing the book, and I was just waiting to say it, And so
Yes.
like,
Yes, absolutely. I loved that scene because you just see the depth of his devotion, and she sees it, and then, yeah, that line, you're just like, "I love you so much."
I know, I know. I actually really like I love these characters. They might be, I mean, they're tied for top favorites with a
Yes,
few other book characters, but I love them so
absolutely.
much. Yeah.
So this book is set in Boston, and the previous one is set in Boston. So I lived outside the city for about 20 years, and so I loved reading it just for that aspect because I could sort of picture myself there. And like whenever we would drive into town for a Red Sox game, we'd park in this parking garage right and have to walk by Berkeley School of Music. So I'm like, oh, I know where Berkeley is, or I love the North there and where she lives. And have you lived in Boston? Or I mean, it seemed like you're very familiar with the city, or
Thank you for saying
there's
that.
just a great place to go hockey team.
I went up there for like research purposes a couple of times. I've been to Boston probably like I want to say like I mean it's a 3 hour drive from New York, 3 to 4 hours. And my
Mhm.
daughter used to do like a summer camp nearby. And so my husband and I would like take her there and then we would go to Boston for a few days. Like
Fun.
I feel like I know it. I don't feel like I feel like people who live in Boston are like experts on Boston, and so I'm not at that level. But I definitely feel like I understand the vibe of it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like this really it's like scholarly, but also super blue collar at the same time. And I feel like that's really unique to Boston. And just this feeling of like everybody's watching the same game, everybody's doing the same thing at the same time. It's like there is a real camaraderie in that town that like
yeah,
not New York isn't like that necessarily. New York has like a billion communities all operating independently at the same time. Like whether it's like this college or that college or this kind of, like this protest and that. And it's just like there's so much going on. But Boston really feels more cohesive. Maybe and that's because it's smaller or whatever it might
yeah,
be. But I do love it. I just love the town itself. And I always say I would love to move to Boston for a while. It's just got a great it's just got a great feeling about it.
yeah, it's great, and I loved that part about the I mean, it's not like a huge part, but the setting, comes into play and just where she lives and what they do and what happens on the Boston Common, that fun stuff, so
Yeah.
absolutely. But Dreamgirl Drama is book 3 in your Big Shot series, which I can say though that this book I think can absolutely be read as a standalone if anyone hasn't read the previous 2 books, but they absolutely should because they are amazing. Can you take us sort of back to the beginning for a second? And so where did this idea of the Big Shot series come about? Like, did you have the series in mind, or did it just sort of after writing Wells and Josephine's story and Fangirl Down, you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna, like, dive on this character and go from there." Like, how did it come to be?
Yeah, it like really sort of transformed into a lot more than I was expecting. I really just had this idea in my head for this story about a golfer and his caddy. And I needed to write it. Like I had it in my head and I was like, I can't believe I'm gonna try and sell a golf book to like the romance community. But I just knew like if people trusted me and read the book that it would be worth it, like taking that chance. And it ended up being like one of my favorite. I probably tied for my top 2 favorite books that I've written, Fangirl Down. So I was like, I can't just write one. I can't just write a golf book and then walk away. So why don't I just like make a duet? Like I'll have him, his best friend will be his hockey player. I'll try, like I'll make a duet. So that was the plan. That was the plan. It was just going to be 2 books. And then like I met like the hockey team and I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, there's so many interesting characters on this team. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then, like, as you know, in Dream Girl drama, then like baseball players enter the mix.
Mhm.
So like it just kind of morphed into this like thing that I have no idea when it's going to end. I mean, I think it's probably going to be 6 books. I'm just working on the 5th book right now.
Wow.
And it's like I'm about to turn it in. And it just gets more and more interesting as I go. And more characters keep popping up. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm really drawn to sports heroes, maybe because they have a built in competitive alpha male side that just appeals to me.
Yeah.
But it's like, I can't. I think this series, I don't
That
know
makes
what's
me
going
so
on.
happy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm of that generation that I would sit and watch golf with my dad when I was little, but I was like, never in my wildest dreams did I think a romance author would make me fall in love with a professional golfer. But I think I had Fangirl Down was one of my favorite books last year. I think tell everyone, please read this book. It is so good. I didn't think anyone could top the Bellinger Sisters series, which I love that one too. But I'm like, that one might have done it for me because it's just so, so good. But
Thank
then
you.
to have it continue, I'm just like, "Wow, this woman I think can really write anything." I'm a professional golfer, and now I love her hockey players and what's to come, so it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Cute. Yeah, I'm glad. Thank you for reading it. And it's fun to watch people continue to be pleasantly surprised by the fact that they like to golf. I'm like, I told you. It's not
Well,
really
trust
about
me.
golf,
Yeah.
but the golf I managed to, I think, make interesting enough for it to be interesting in the background. But it's about the love story. It's about this woman coming in and just like blowing this man's mind with her wit and her drive and like her knowledge about his sport. She makes him a better player, like, and then he can't live without her. It's just like, oh my God.
It had all the things, all the
I just
things.
love that story so much. I love this
Yes.
whole series, and it seems like almost like the stakes are so high in this series. Every book, the stakes seem to be so high, and I think
Yes.
that's why I'm just addicted to writing it.
Oh, I'm so glad. Well, I had mentioned to you earlier that I loved your segment for Avon Books on Instagram called Hear Me Out, where you were given the plots of other sports romance books and you were gonna like give a quick like summary. Oh, this is what it could be about. So I'm not gonna have you plot out books, but because you made me fall in love with a golfer, I'm gonna be like, I bet you could make me love any kind of sports romance with these most obscure sports. So I'm gonna throw out a couple for you and you can give me a yes or no if you think you could write a rom-com that we would love about it. And I'll give a PSA. Please don't Google obscure sports because you come up with some crazy things out there, I will tell you, that I never really knew about, like wife carrying and toe wrestling, and we won't even get into all
Wife
those, but
carrying would be a rom-com, right? I mean, I think
I
that
know, right? Okay, but the first one I thought of would be arm wrestler. Is that a yay or a nay?
ooh, an arm wrestler. So, like, is it her or him that's the arm wrestler?
Who knows? I didn't think about it that way, but
I mean, I feel like if I was gonna write a romance, oh God, what's her name? The rugby player, Iona
yeah.
Mahler?
Mhm.
I feel like if I was gonna write a rom-com for her, I would have an arm wrestling scene.
Yeah.
I would want her to like like just kick a guy's ass in arm wrestling and have him not be insecure about that. You
Yeah.
know? It would be so
Yes,
nice
for
and
sure.
refreshing.
Yeah. I like that. Could be rugby player and arm wrestler or both, or that it just seem very cool. How about like so I think this one I'd be like, there's no way she could make this cool, but I bet really she could. Ping pong.
Ping pong. Oh my god. Yeah. I feel like I could do it. I feel like I could work in some sort of like she has this passion for the sport and no one takes her seriously and like she's the only one on the team. She's the only one on the college ping pong team. So she has nobody to no teammates, no one to play with. So he like teaches himself how to play ping pong so that he can like help her and like be her practice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, last
But
one.
he's actually like maybe he's like a wrestler. Maybe he's like the like star wrestler. And so like big hand can barely hold this little
Yes. Oh my
racket.
gosh. You're so
But he
good.
wants so badly to like her to have a teammate, someone to practice with. So he like teaches himself ping pong.
Love it. All right, last one. Water skier. I thought that would be very unique.
Water skiing is hot. I mean, it's a hard sport. I did it growing up. My dad loved water skiing, and it's it does require a ton of leg strength, and we like thighs around here,
Yeah.
so I think I could do that.
Just the
Yeah,
water stains, the bathing suits they'll be wearing. I mean, you could there's a lot of fodder, I think, there.
I grew up in Southern California, where wetsuits are considered hot, so
Yeah.
the
There you
yay
go.
for me.
Oh my gosh. All right, so back to thank you for doing that. I would read any and all of those for sure. But back to Dream Girl drama. So we make our big special announcement. I am so thrilled to say and announce that Dream Girl drama is going to be the March 2025 book of the month for our She Reads Romance Books book club. Yay!
Yes.
Which means, yay, that we are going to be talking all about this book and Sig and Chloe and their amazing chemistry on Zoom in our book club. And then we're going to get together again on Zoom with Tessa for our author Q&A on March 26th. It's really going to be a blast. I am so excited for that. I mean, I don't want to wish February away too soon and too fast, but yet I cannot wait to have this chance to talk more about it with you and everyone. So thank you so much for that.
Gosh, my pleasure. Can't wait.
It's gonna be fun, and I'm sure everyone's gonna wanna talk about all 3 books, but especially this one, but yeah, it's gonna be so incredible. So I know we've already convinced everybody to order it, read it, Dream Girl Drama coming out February 4th, but if you have a few more minutes, I would love to ask some questions about Tessa the reader, but if there's anything else that you wanna share that we haven't talked about for the book, let us know, or where readers can find you on social so we know all about the next coming books for the series too.
No, I think I've already overshared enough about
Yeah.
dream girl drama. So, I'll let you discover the rest of it independently. You can find me on Instagram at author Tessa Bailey. Oh, sorry, no, it's Instagram is at Tessa Bailey is an author,
Okay.
and on TikTok at author Tessa Bailey, which we still have TikTok as of today. Who knows?
I know, right?
Who knows? It went away, came back. Who knows what tomorrow holds? Everything is very uncertain.
It's crazy.
Uh,
Or I guess I will say for this book too that the orgasm donors do have an appearance if you saw them from the last book, right? So
yes, yes. The
that's another
owners
reason
are
to
they're
go.
getting their own books. Actually, I don't know if I told you that. But they are. There's a cover for the next one. It comes out September 2025. Picture perfect. I'm just waiting to reveal it.
And there you have it, folks. Dream Girl Drama is dropping February 4th. And then we've got even more books in the Big Shot series to look forward to this year and coming ahead soon. Thank you so much, Tessa Bailey, for this super fun interview. I know that we've convinced everyone to go ahead and just click that link in the show notes to grab Dream Girl Drama right now. And then while you're at it, don't forget to join the She Reads Romance Books book club right now and definitely in March because Dream Girl Drama is going to be our March book of the month. Super excited to talk about the book and talk about Sig and Chloe in book club and then to have Tessa join us for our author Q&A at the end of the month as well. You don't want to miss the opportunity to come and chat with her and ask her all of your burning questions. It's going to be a blast. And also, don't forget when you join the club that as an added benefit for membership, that you will get instant access to all of my exclusive extended author videos. So when you join today, you will be able to check out my video interview with Tessa, where we talk more about why she loves reading romance, what her favorite romance books are, and so much more. So definitely jump on that. Go to shereadsromancebooks.com/book club and join today. That's all for this episode of the She Reads Romance Books podcast. I hope you enjoyed it and found some new books to add to your TBR list. If you did, please subscribe, rate, and review the show on your favorite podcast app. It really helps me reach more romance book lovers like you, and I appreciate your support. If you're a book boyfriend collector like me, then you'll want to join my email list so you never miss a podcast episode or a new book list. Just visit shereadsromancebooks.com/join and sign up today. As a thank you, I'll instantly send you my list of top 10 book boyfriends that will make you swoon. Trust me, you don't want to miss this list. Thank you for listening, and until next time, happy reading.